Hey there, sexy techies.
So we found ourselves in a bit of a predicament this week.
A little bit.
May was a bit stressed out.
Sorry.
So we've got some travel coming up, and we weren't sure how we were going to have enough time to record this episode and do all the research that we needed to do. And I've been meaning to do an episode about AI and ChatGPT. So ChatGPT to the rescue.
Thank God we have artificial intelligence to do our jobs for us.
Well, we'll see how well they do. So we decided to let ChatGPT basically do all the heavy lifting for this week. We asked ChatGPT for segment ideas for what we should talk about, and we asked ChatGPT to basically tell us what to say.
I have a lot of faith in ChatGPT and AI because my brain's not functioning this week, so.
Well, the good thing is, if this episode's terrible, we can blame it on AI.
There you go.
And if it's really good, we can take all the credit because we came up with the idea.
Because we're geniuses,
Yes.
right?
So first I asked ChatGPT to tell me a little bit about itself so I could describe to our audience what ChatGPT is. And I specifically told it to use 50 words or less
Oh.
and try and make it sound simple because I didn't want it to...
And not be too technical. I like it. I like that this is literally writing our show for us. Continue.
So this is what it responded. ChatGPT is like a helpful digital friend. It talks, answers questions, writes, and assists in countless ways. Anyone can benefit from it for learning, being more creative, problem solving, or just a friendly chat. It's a handy tool for making life easier and more interesting.
That's a good explanation. I get it now.
There you go. I had a couple of other important questions I thought we should clear up before we get started. I asked it, should people be worried about you taking their jobs or becoming sentient?
Becoming what?
Basically developing consciousness.
Oh, like that movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, her.
Yeah. And is this what ChatGPT is becoming?
Well, ChatGPT told me basically no.
Okay.
People shouldn't be worried.
Yeah. As the villain usually says.
Yeah. Well, but then I also asked it, are you able to lie? And it also told me no. So unless it's lying about being able to lie.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
It can be wrong, it told me, because it's programmed by humans. So if the information it's given is wrong, it can give false information. But it can't lie because it doesn't have a conscience or the ability to come up with a lie, basically.
Interesting. Okay. Well, right now my trust is in AI and ChatGPT. So you have my trust if you can hear me.
It hears everything.
Wherever you are.
So ChatGPT's training data ends in 2021. So it doesn't know anything about current events. So I had to do this part on myself. I did a little bit of research just to give everyone an idea of the company behind ChatGPT and what they're valued at now.
Got it.
Because ChatGPT wouldn't know that information yet. So OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT. It is reportedly on track to generate more than $1 billion in revenue over the next 12 months.
Wow. 12 months?
Yeah, in this
in
year.
A year, yeah.
And it's only been out for less than a year.
Wow.
The company is estimated to be currently generating more than $80 million a month in revenue, and their most recent valuation was about $28 billion.
That's not chump change.
And they don't even have an enterprise version of their software yet. So once they have an enterprise version of the software, you can only expect that number to go up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we asked ChatGPT, how should we start this segment? And one of its ideas was, why don't you perform a skit?
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, okay. Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're going to do.
Yes.
So May doesn't know a lot of this stuff because I did most of this work typing the prompts into ChatGPT.
Because I'm stressed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she didn't know like how to get to ChatGPT.
Well, no, I figured it out. I did it to see what kind of a manicure I should get today.
Did you listen to it?
Yes, but the nail salon did not have the colors that it suggested. It's okay. I'm happy with it. But
I'm glad everything turned out okay.
Yes, I know. I was a little worried at first. Anyway, I feel like now I've started a relationship with my ChatGPT, and it's starting to understand my style and my needs and my wants.
Who knew ChatGPT could be used for something so important?
I know, right? We're changing lives over here.
Okay, we are going to do a skit.
Okay.
And this skit is going to be about how we came up with the idea for this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I told ChatGPT a little bit about me and my interests and a little bit about you and your interests. And I asked for this skit to be a debate about what the podcast should be about.
Ooh.
Okay, and I let ChatGPT decide who the winner is.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see what it decided.
I wonder if it argues the way that we argue.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, So the title is Pitch Perfect Harmony.
Okay.
The characters are Tony and May.
Great. Okay, we're here.
And the setting is a recording studio for a podcast.
Wow, it's like it knows.
Okay, so Tony and May are sitting at a table with microphones set up.
Perfect.
They're about to start recording their podcast episode. Welcome back to our podcast, everyone. I'm Tony.
It says with a smile, so I'm smiling. And I'm May.
Today we've got a special episode in store for you all. We're going to take you through the journey of how we decided on the topic for our podcast.
I really like the things that it puts in parentheses, like, now I have to say this playfully. Yes, and let's just say it was quite the debate.
That's right. You see, when we were brainstorming ideas for our podcast, we each had our own strong opinions about what it should be focused on.
Teasingly. Tony here was all about tech startups and content creators. He had charts, graphs, and a business plan ready to go.
Chuckling. Guilty as charged. I was convinced that diving into the world of tech startups and content creators would be not only informative, but also incredibly relevant.
Raising an eyebrow. And then there was my idea. I was adamant that we should explore the secret life. And then there was my idea. I was adamant that we should explore the secret life of boy band members. I mean, who wouldn't want to know what goes on behind the scenes? This is so accurate.
Oh, I remember that debate well. It was like we were two radio frequencies on completely different wavelengths.
You would make a dad joke like that.
I mean, ChatGPT would give me a dad joke like that.
True, but then something magical happened. We decided to put our debate to the ultimate test. We each had to make our case in front of our friends.
And that's where the turning point came. As I passionately talked about the impact of tech startups on our world, I could see the eyes of our friends glazing over.
Meanwhile, when I started sharing fascinating anecdotes about boy bands and their hidden stories, our friends were leaning in, captivated.
It was clear that we had struck a chord with our audience. But it wasn't just about who had the more engaging topic. We realized that the heart of our podcast should be about connecting with our listeners and sharing stories that resonate.
That's when it hit us. It wasn't about who won the debate. It was about finding a topic that brought us together and allowed us to connect with others.
So, listeners, you might have guessed it by now. We decided to follow May's idea and dive into the secret life of boy band members. Surprise.
And I might have secretly agreed to sneak in a few episodes about tech... about tech and content creators here and there.
I guess episodes 1 through 4. Compromise at its finest. And that's how Pitch Perfect Harmony was born. Our podcast where we explore the hidden stories of boy band members while occasionally geeking out over tech and content creation.
So join us on this journey as we harmonize our passions and stories right here on Pitch Perfect Harmony. Scene.
Oh, wow. What did you think?
I think we need to change our podcast. I think AI is onto something here.
I mean, if you all would prefer this show to be about the secret lives of boy bands.
With tech sprinkled in.
With tech sprinkled in, please just message it to us somehow.
Don't tell Tony.
Yeah, send it to May. So it's interesting that it picked out the boy band member topic from the information that I gave to ChatGPT. I did tell it quite a bit about you, and I told it to pick what it thought would be the best option to go up against tech startups and content creators.
Well, it definitely picked the right one. I don't know what else you said about me, but...
I mean, dancing, reality TV shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I sound so deep.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I gave it some good stuff.
But I do slip in boy band references. I think I've done it in every episode. So accurate, yeah.
Yes, it's very accurate. Another thing that ChatGPT told us we should do is be funny to connect with the audience.
Oh.
Okay. So I guess maybe it didn't think its skit was funny, but so it gave us some other things that we could do. So one of the things that we came up with to sprinkle a little bit of humor into this podcast episode is I wanted to see how good ChatGPT was at picking up girls.
Oh, okay.
So I asked ChatGPT to generate me a list of pickup lines that I could try out on you.
Oh, okay. Is it targeted to me and who I am specifically?
No, it's more targeted towards the content of our show.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
this is-
like once you start talking to ChatGPT about something, it like remembers it. So I was in the same conversation, and I think it just assumed I wanted these things to be about tech and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like nerdy pickup line.
Yeah, some of them we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what you think.
All right, talk nerdy to me. Let's
Okay.
go.
Are you a Wi-Fi signal? Because I'm feeling a strong connection.
Okay.
Rated on a scale from 1 to 10.
Ooh, I'd say 6.
A 6?
Because Wi-Fi is pretty spotty. There's not always a strong connection.
Okay. Are you a keyboard? Because you're just my type.
Scale of 1 to 10. I'd say that's a 5.
Oh, we went backwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Is your name Netflix? Because I could binge watch you all night. Maybe a little creepy.
I know, I was just gonna say that's
Maybe a
like
little
kind of creepy. I'd say that's a 5 because it's a little bit creepy. Unless like I wanted you to do that.
It's funny though.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we've got 2 more.
Okay.
Are you a high-speed connection? Because you're making everything load faster.
Oh my gosh, that's an 8. But
ChatGPT's getting a little dirty.
I mean, yeah.
I don't even think it knows it.
I'd like to hear you tell me that, but I would not want to be approached by a stranger at a bar to tell me that.
All right, last one.
Okay.
You must be a software update because you're giving me all the right enhancements.
Yeah, that's a 10.
I saved the
That's
best
a 10.
for
That's a
last.
good one. Oh my goodness. ChatGPT, you're making me blush.
Ooh. Ooh. All right, everybody. We'll be back after a quick break.
Quick. It's going to be quick.
Okay, so continuing along with the theme of adding some comedy to our podcast, at ChatGPT's suggestion, of course, I told ChatGPT a little bit about, the segment on the Jimmy Fallon show where they do mean tweets.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I told ChatGPT a little bit about that segment, and I asked it to roast our podcast.
Oh my gosh. First of all, you've spent a lot of time talking to ChatGPT.
What do you think I've been doing the last few days in my office?
You're having like all these conversations. That's awesome. Okay, wait, so ChatGPT is going to roast us? That's what you just said?
Yeah, I mean, it gave us the lines. I actually put some in your document.
Oh,
So
okay.
you get to read some, and
Okay.
I'll read some.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, who goes first?
You can go first.
Okay, let me scroll down. All right. Tried watching their video podcast, and I think I found Waldo. Oh, wait, that's just one of the hosts blending into the background. I wonder which one of us it's talking about.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. I think it was you. Okay, the banter between May and Tony is faker than my 3D rendered breakfast.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think ChatGPT eats?
I don't know.
I've been told that our banter is pretty good.
Yeah. ChatGPT.
Maybe the AI just doesn't understand human banter.
Right. That's got to be what it is.
Okay.
Why does it feel like they're recording this podcast in a public restroom? Is echo chic the new trend? I can't hear over the sound of my own cringe. Oh.
So at one point, I tried to get ChatGPT to go more negative, and apparently it has guardrails in place because it kept telling me that it wasn't allowed to do that, basically.
Oh, interesting.
And every time it did give me these, it made sure to begin with, remember, this is like for good fun and to be playful
Oh
and
my
not meant.
gosh.
Yeah, so they're trying hard to
Yeah.
not, because like I could take this stuff and be a bully or something like
Right,
that. But
right.
I had to assure it, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to use this against ourselves in a lighthearted
Yes.
manner.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the dangers of this in the wrong hands.
Yes,
I'm so
exactly.
glad that we're responsible adults.
Yeah, and
Using
I can
ChatGPT.
attest to the fact that it did a good job. It didn't provide me anything too negative. These things
Yeah.
are all kind of in good fun.
Right.
All right, last one. Just listen to .coms and Hot Moms. Congrats on making the world's first podcast that doubles as a sleep aid. Hashtag snoozecast.
Oh my gosh. It's like the white noise machine.
Yes.
Honestly, though, one time I was just listening to our podcast to just make sure that like it uploaded correctly right before bed, and I did fall asleep.
Okay. How late was it, though?
It was very late.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good at least. It's not a ringing endorsement of our podcast, though. So for our final segment, I asked ChatGPT, what was the strangest request you've ever received from a human? And I was expecting something pretty crazy.
I know, I'm worried.
No, this was weird, but not that weird. So it said somebody once asked it to make up a rap about some highly complex scientific topic.
Oh, I wonder if it was a teacher, because like when teachers rap, they're cool.
Maybe. So I said, well, can you make up a rap about our podcast? And it said, sure, I can. And then it sent me a rap. So we're going to do it.
We're going to rap?
Yeah,
my gosh.
let's scroll down in your thing.
Okay.
I put the lyrics in here. We each have a few verses,
Oh
okay?
my gosh, okay. I bet it's going to be amazing.
We'll see. All right, I guess I start.
Yes.
Okay, hit me with a beat.
Oh, a real one?
No, I'm just kidding.
Cool, okay.
Yo, it's Tony in the mix, charisma on display, tech trends and startups leading the way. .coms and hot moms, we're on that stage. Talking AI and more, let's turn this page.
Oh, gosh. Hey there, it's May with a sultry glance. Tech prowess and charm in every advance. From creators to code, watch us unfold, bringing seductive laughs in a story untold. I'm sorry.
You're a little minx. I did tell it. So the first rap it gave me was kind of a little bland and boring. Mm-hmm. So I wrote back and asked if it could make it a little sexier, and this is what it sent back.
Okay, got it. Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I tried to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
We're ChatGPT lovers. AI's our muse. Sparks of creativity, no way to lose. Deep convos and laughter that sizzle and burn.
Oh my God.
Our podcast, The Heat. Baby, it's your turn.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sizzle and burn. You should probably get that checked out.
I think they have some medication for that.
I know. I need a little cream. Okay. So get ready, darlings, for a digital thrill. Startups and tech, we're in for the kill. With ChatGPT's touch, we'll set hearts ablaze. .coms and hot moms in a seductive haze.
I mean, better than I could have come up with.
Oh my gosh. So that's our new theme song.
I don't know about that. Yeah, so what do you think? I mean, this is your first introduction to ChatGPT.
I mean, yeah, no, that's pretty good. Like, it's not, some of it's corny, obviously, but like, it's pretty spot on if we were to like actually be serious about it. Like that, it can really generate some good content.
Yeah. So I just want to end with my experience, working with ChatGPT. The tool can be as good as the information that you give it. So it took a lot of training on my part, and this is what you'll read too. It's as good as the prompts that you put in. If you ask it questions, I got frustrated sometimes because the responses that it gave me were not what I was looking for. Sometimes it feels like a lack of creativity on ChatGPT's part, but really you're just not giving it the right prompts.
Right.
So you have to be more specific, or you have to tell it, no, I want you to go in this direction.
Okay.
And it's not going to give you exactly what you're looking for, is what I found. You're going to have to do some work still. You're going to have to take back what it wrote. You might have to rework it a little bit. One of the verses in the rap didn't really rhyme. It rhymed in spelling, but it didn't rhyme in pronunciation.
It's like a slant rhyme.
Yeah, so I told it had to come up with another verse for that one because, we couldn't make that word rhyme.
Okay.
It did a pretty good job, though. I think at this point in ChatGPT's life, for creators, I think it is a useful tool to come up with ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of the ideas it came up with wouldn't have worked very well for our podcast. They were a little too bland. It tended to go very technical. I had to tell it, like, our podcast isn't really about that kind of tech.
Yeah.
It's more about like trends in technology, startups, startup stories, things like that.
Right.
And, it learned a little bit over time. I think the really interesting thing will be once you can feed it a lot of information, like you can give it all of your past podcasts. Let's say you've done 100 podcasts and you can feed that all into it. So it gets to know you and like gets to know each person. You can say the female voice is May's and the male voice is Tony's or whatever. That'll be pretty powerful. It'll sort of get to know our personalities. It'll get to know the topics that we talk about. But for now, it's a useful tool.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to be relying on it to do too many full podcast episodes.
No. I do feel like, it's going to be a long time before we like have to turn to it for episode ideas, because we've been getting a lot of really good feedback from our friends and family already about like other things that we should explore, other topics. So we have humans to help us with that for now.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks, ChatGPT.
And now it's time for ChatGPT's Hot Mom of the Week.
Yeah, whoa, last time I checked, I'm still hot. real hot.
Okay, so we asked ChatGPT to come up with this week's Hot Mom of the Week, and it generated somebody named Esther Crawford. Do you know Esther Crawford? Are you familiar with that name?
I was not familiar with the name when I first read it, but once I looked her up, I did remember who she was because she was in the news somewhat recently.
Yes. Well, before she was in the news, she is an American technology entrepreneur. She is well known as the CEO and co-founder of Squad. It is a platform that allowed friends to basically share their screens with each other. Squad was acquired by Twitter, and she was the director of product at Twitter. And she was in the news for during that huge layoff that Elon Musk did, where he fired 200 employees. She had a picture of herself sleeping on the floor at company headquarters that went viral.
Yeah, so this was right after Elon bought Twitter, after
Yeah.
previously trying to back out of buying Twitter. And he instituted something called extreme hardcore or something like that. And so that's why she was sleeping on the floor in a sleeping bag. And a lot of other employees were staying overnight, trying to work, 20-hour days, that sort of stuff.
So yeah, that's who ChatGPT gave us as our Hot Mom of the Week. Follow her on Instagram. Her handle is @Esther Crawford. Very exciting. Thank you, ChatGPT. That's pretty accurate for ChatGPT. I mean, she is a tech entrepreneur, so that's relevant to what we were talking about. She's a mom and she's trending.
Yeah, good choice, ChatGPT. Well, that's all we've got today. If you enjoyed the episode, hit the subscribe button.
And reach out on social media.
.coms,
And Hot Moms.
signing off.